Counting on family member punished by court, faces jail time. Counting on alum Jim Bob Duggar continues to face many issues following the CSA arrest of his son Josh. Many eyes have been watching the Duggar family. But despite all their careful acts, some family members can't help but get into trouble. One of them may even face jail time soon. Keep reading to see who it was. Counting on. Amy Duggar's husband Dylan King faces lawsuit. In 2023, Hillcrest Holdings, LLC sued Dylan King and his business partners for his unpaid rent. The Counting on alum missed multiple rents for his restaurant, Wellington's. According to the filing, Dylan and his partners allegedly vacated the premises, which constitutes as a default of the lease and a material breach of contract. Dylan stopped paying for rent after June 2023. Dylan and his team claimed that they only stopped paying rent after the plaintiffs refused to communicate after several good faith attempts. A settlement agreement was then ordered by the court earlier this year, asking Dylan to pay $156,909.96. But it seems he's still not interested in paying anything, and it may soon lead him to jail. Dylan may face jail time. New reports surfaced claiming that Dylan King is facing new punishment for consistently failing to pay his judgment. It was revealed that Hillcrest Holdings, LLC now demands that the Counting on alum face jail time. This comes after Dylan goes against the judge's orders. The motion for contempt citation and for sanctions against Dylan was filed on March 12, 2025. The document also states that Dylan has put the plaintiff under an arduous and expensive task of trying to figure out how to collect from him. On January 2, 2025, the plaintiff also filed its notice of deposition to ask Dylan to appear for a deposition on February 11, 2025. However, Dylan failed to comply. The plaintiff also believes he willfully and intentionally delays everything, leading to their frustration. Counting on. Dylan King continues to fight back. Despite all the judgment, Dylan is still trying to fight back. He believes that the huge penalty for his unpaid rent is unreasonable. On January 29, 2025, the Counting on alum filed a motion to quash, which is a request to void a court proceeding. He also denies all the liability and the damages owed. In a court file, Dylan and his team said, "It is admitted that the agreement was signed, and the first payment was made. However, the remaining allegations are denied, and payment has been offered." Dylan King also demands an alternative ruling and hopes for the court to reconsider their decisions. Dylan struggled to pay the second half of his unpaid rent, which led the plaintiffs to seek certain damages, interest, and fees. Amy Duggar has been discreet about her husband's situation, but she previously told her followers that something crazy had happened to their restaurant. The reality TV world is once again rocked by scandal as a former member of the famous Duggar family, known for their TLC show Counting On, faces serious legal consequences. In a dramatic turn of events, the court has handed down a harsh punishment, leaving fans and critics alike in shock. For years, the Duggar family, hailing from Arkansas, built their brand on faith, family values, and their ever-expanding brood. With their deeply conservative beliefs and a rigid household structure, they became a household name, but also a lightning rod for controversy. The latest legal trouble only adds another layer to their ongoing saga of public scrutiny. A shocking fall from grace. The individual at the center of this latest scandal is no stranger to the headlines. Having already been a subject of previous controversies, their latest legal battle has pushed them into the harshest spotlight yet. After a lengthy investigation, the court found them guilty of financial misconduct, a charge that carries severe consequences. Prosecutors painted a damning picture of deceit, mismanagement, and an alarming disregard for legal and ethical boundaries. According to court documents, the former Counting On star was involved in fraudulent activities linked to tax evasion and misappropriation of funds. The case revealed a tangled web of falsified records, questionable business dealings, and an attempt to circumvent financial responsibilities. Legal analysts suggest that the individual may have been operating under the assumption that their reality TV fame would shield them from accountability. The court's verdict. During sentencing, the judge did not hold back. In a scathing statement, the court emphasized that no one is above the law, regardless of their past fame or public persona. The former reality star was sentenced to serve time behind bars, along with hefty fines and restitution payments to the affected parties. Legal experts speculate that the severity of the punishment was intended to send a strong message, not only to the individual in question, but also to others who believe they can bend the rules without consequence. The judge's decision reflects the growing intolerance for financial crimes, particularly when they involve deception on such a large scale. Family reactions, division and denial. As expected, the Duggar family has been divided in their response. Some members have publicly expressed their unwavering support, arguing that their loved one is being unfairly targeted due to their past notoriety. Others, however, have taken a more distant approach, choosing to remain silent or subtly hinting at disappointment. Insiders suggest that the family patriarch, Jim Bob Duggar, is struggling to maintain unity within the household. Once a dominant force in controlling the family's narrative, Jim Bob has reportedly been at odds with some of his children, who have grown increasingly critical of their upbringing and the consequences of living in the public eye. Jill Duggar Dillard, who has been vocal about her estrangement from the family, took to social media with a cryptic post. Truth always comes to light. Healing starts with accountability. Fans quickly speculated that her words were a direct reference to the unfolding legal drama. Meanwhile, Jessa Duggar Seawald, often seen as a loyal supporter of the family's values, posted a Bible verse about redemption and second chances, suggesting a more sympathetic stance. The conflicting responses highlight the growing fracture within the Duggar clan, a family that once prided itself on unity. The public's response. The court's decision has sparked heated debates among fans and critics alike. Social media exploded with reactions, ranging from outrage over the crime to discussions about whether the family's long history of secrecy contributed to their downfall. Critics argue that the Duggar family's extreme upbringing, particularly their strict and insular lifestyle, may have played a role in the legal troubles. Others point to a pattern of covering up scandals, referencing past incidents that have plagued the family's reputation. Many see this latest conviction as yet another example of the consequences of living under a public microscope while harboring private indiscretions. On the other hand, some supporters believe that the punishment is excessive, fueled by the media's relentless scrutiny of the Duggars. They argue that other individuals guilty of similar crimes have received lighter sentences, raising questions about fairness and bias. What comes next? With the sentencing now official, the former Counting On star must prepare for life behind bars. Legal analysts predict that their legal team may attempt an appeal, but experts suggest that the chances of a successful overturn are slim. The focus now shifts to how the family will navigate this crisis and whether their brand can recover from yet another major scandal. Meanwhile, TLC, the network that once aired Counting On, has remained silent on the matter. Having already cut ties with the family following previous controversies, there is little chance of a redemption arc playing out on television. The Duggars' once thriving media presence has diminished significantly, leaving them to deal with their troubles away from the cameras. A lesson in accountability. The fall of a former reality TV star serves as a stark reminder that fame does not equate to immunity. The law applies to everyone, regardless of how many fans or followers one has. While the Duggar family has built its identity around morality and righteousness, the harsh reality is that no amount of public piety can shield anyone from the consequences of their actions. For the fans who once idolized the Duggar lifestyle, this case raises difficult questions about blind faith in public figures. For the critics who long suspected hypocrisy, the verdict is a form of validation. And for the family itself, the road ahead is uncertain, with its once unbreakable image now irreparably fractured. As the convicted family member begins their sentence, one thing is clear: the days of counting on the illusion of perfection are over.